Hello everyone, this is Gomi back with another video. And in this voiceover, I will be talking about my journey with art. You see, back when I was a kid, I didn't really draw a lot. I did draw here and there, but nothing too serious. I didn't draw every day. I didn't even think art can be a hobby or anything more than that. And I didn't really like my drawings back then, so I didn't really draw. So I never really took art seriously. But eventually, years passed, and it was my junior year in high school when I first thought of first I thought of improving my art skills because I saw many artists draw really well, and I wanted to do that. But anyway, when I started to take art a little more seriously, I was in my junior year of high school. I was around 15 or 16 years old. And I remember exactly how I got that interest. I always had that interest deep within me, but I never actually, like I said, pursued it before. But then there was this one day that I came to my class. It was a drama class. And I had a friend who was busy scribbling down on a piece of paper. And I asked her, what are you doing? And she says, oh, I'm just drawing. And then she showed me her sketchbook and she showed me all her little drawings. They were so adorable. I really liked how they looked. And I thought, wow, I could do that too if I practiced enough. They were really cute drawings, but she only had drawn for a couple months actually, and she finally had the courage to show everyone her sketchbook. She was really proud of them. I wanted that. I wanted that experience. I wanted to show off my drawings. I wanted to create stuff, have people look at them, be proud of my stuff. So I thought, this art thing really does sound interesting. And soon enough, I decided to just go ahead and buy a small sketchbook just to see if I would continue to pursue it or if I would just give up like my other hobbies that I've given up, honestly. And so after school, I remember my parents, they took me to the dollar store. Well, actually, it was the Dollar Tree. Not sponsored, by the way. And I found these two sketchbooks. Of course, they weren't the best, they're from the dollar store. But I'm like, you know what? I'm just starting right now. I don't need all these expensive books and sketchbooks and pencils and materials and all that. So I decided to just get the sketchbooks and just use regular pencils that I had at home for school. And as soon as I got home, I went online to search up tips for beginning artists, and I did find a lot. They were very helpful. One of them suggested that if you were completely new at art and you had like little to no experience, that it was best to practice drawing circles and drawing basic shapes like triangles, squares, rectangles, and all that jazz. So that's what I did on the first couple of pages of my sketchbook. I thought to myself, every professional has started as an amateur, and I shouldn't be ashamed of starting. I have to start somewhere. So that gave myself a little boost of confidence. I continued to draw until I filled up that sketchbook, and then I went toward the other sketchbook, and soon enough I finished that one as well. It took me around a month or two to finish those sketchbooks, and by that time I thought I would have been bored, but honestly, it was surprising that I enjoyed it this much. And so I went towards Walmart to buy another sketchbook, a little bit more with more quality, I guess you can say that. That sketchbook was also filled rather quickly. I was really excited about getting all these things and making up all these drawings. I still have all my sketchbooks to this day, and even though I was incredibly enthusiastic and willing to draw every day, um, I still looked at it realistically. I knew that it takes years, and I knew that. I knew it would take years. And I was willing to go through that. I was like, okay, it's better now than never. After finishing my third one, I got a fourth and a fifth one. Eventually, I had this bright idea. Not really bright, but I got this idea that why don't I just make up an account for my drawings, put all my stuff in there. So on the internet, I saw this app called Amino Art. And it's a small little app. that has like a close community. It has very little people compared to Instagram or Tumblr or Twitter. Again, not sponsored by Amino. Soon, who knows? But Art Amino has such a small community. I couldn't really see myself grow in that. And I've been using Amino for a while. I think almost like a year or two, not sure, a year and a half probably. I grew a little bit as an artist. I learned new techniques. I felt like I've improved enough for Instagram. And I felt like I could grow on this app. Like I could grow on this site. I felt like of course, the art community was way larger in this one. And I love how Instagram portrays our accounts. I think these type of accounts are really good for photographers and artists as well. So of course I stuck with Instagram. And then I opened up a Twitter and afterwards a Tumblr. Before all these accounts that were made, I actually made a YouTube account in my Amino days. And it was under the name Bumble Moon. And I pretty soon I gave up because lack of resources as well as lack of inspiration. But yeah, eventually I just made a YouTube account as well, and that's where I'm at now. By the way, I still consider myself an amateur, but I did come a long way. I did come a long way from where I started, and I'm so glad I asked that girl about her drawings. So it's basically all thanks to her that I am now an artist. And her name is Brianna. So Brianna, if you ever watched, thank you so much for showing me your sketchbook because that inspired me to make my own sketchbook, to make my own drawings. So thank you for that. Anyway, this is just how a little bit of an insight of how I started with art. And even though I wish I started earlier, I'm so glad I started at all. So thank you guys so much for hearing my story and kudos to you if you made it this far. I plan to make many more voiceovers of my stories and all that. Anyway, that is all for today, folks. Remember to check out my other accounts on Twitter, Instagram, and Tumblr. And my links to the accounts are in the description below. And if you want to see more of my content, please make sure to subscribe. That gives me even more motivation to continue with all these videos. And remember, Gomitas, to keep on drawing no matter what level of art you do. Please continue to create because we need much more creators in this world. See you guys next Friday. Bye bye.